Benjamin Franklin once said that lost time is never found again. How are you at managing your time? Personally, this has been something that I've been meticulously working on in my life for the past couple of years. And I can say that it's made a significant change in who I am as a person. As a society, our relationship with time is strange. We trade it for money, we often waste it, we often assume that there will be more of it tomorrow. We go through life as we know it, but by the end of each day, week, month, and year, do we really know how we spent our time? In a world where most of us see the importance of budgeting our paycheck, and many plan out their meals and grocery needs for the week, why don't we treat time the same way? The difference is we can see the dollars drained from our account, we notice empty shelves when we open up the fridge, but how do we take inventory of how we spend our days? How do we measure life when time is invisible? That is, until it's not. See, I've been using Google Calendar for events in some capacity for years. But in the latest year, I've been looking at my time with more detail, often logging multiple things throughout the day and creating sort of a rough schedule. For the past several months, it's become obsessive, to where I keep track of working, driving, showering, gaming, sleeping, even the time I feel that I wasted completely. And your initial reaction might be, well, that sounds awesome. It sounds like you're able to really take control of your time. But on the one hand, yes, I'm a lot more mindful of how my time is spent and invested. And on the other hand, yes, I'm a lot more mindful of how my time is spent and invested. Ironically, I spend more and more time dedicated to the ruthless elimination of that waste. I detest blank space on my calendar. I can't stand not knowing how my time will be and was spent. It drives me crazy for sure, but it also keeps me on my toes and in a constant state of growth. And I've learned a lot. So here's 5 lessons that I've learned from tracking every minute of my life. Number 1, how to actually plan and track your time. Now, there's many ways to do this. 2 that I've used are bullet journaling and Google Calendar. Now, if you've never heard of a bullet journal, imagine if a calendar, a to-do list, and a journal made a baby. It's very analog, very hands-on. The idea there is that your schedule, tasks, and thoughts all come together and are cohesive as they relate to each other. One cool thing about a bullet journal is that you have the freedom to customize it as you want. You can do it in a college-ruled spiral notebook, or you can buy a fancy leather journal. It's up to you. For some, simple pen or pencil works, but I've seen others get really creative with markers and colored pencils and even paint. You can see which option I went for there. The other method I can recommend is using Google Calendar. If you have a Google account, you already have access to this tool. And what's great about Calendar is that it can be accessed on your computer, on your phone, on your friend's computer, on your friend's phone, basically anywhere you need it. Whereas if you lose your bullet journal, you're kind of screwed. Within Google Calendar, there's a lot you can do, like creating events, reminders, and tasks, which can all be color-coded or sorted into different calendars if you like to get organized. You can get notifications to your phone or browser when something is upcoming, and you can easily invite others to your events or even share access to your calendar entirely. So it works great for daily, personal things, and things like business meetings and shoots. Whatever method you end up using, try dividing your day into 30-minute blocks for easy planning. Say, I'll do this for block 1, this for block 2, but maybe this next thing takes an hour and a half, so that's blocks 3, 4, and 5 all accounted for. Planning in increments like that can help make it easier and less cluttered. That should be enough to get you started with time tracking. Lesson number 2, don't skimp on sleep. Now, maybe you're looking at your calendar and you're trying to figure out where you can squeeze a few extra hours of work or play into your day. The easy answer may be cut a few hours of sleep. And it's tempting, believe me, but it definitely won't be easy on you. Getting less than adequate sleep is tied to chronic issues like diabetes and stroke. It is the easiest way to actually shave time off of your life, not gain more of it. On a less fatal note, tired people also act more impulsively, have short and long-term memory issues, slower reactions, irritability, weaker immunity, and unhappiness. As you can tell, there are serious problems associated with sleeping less than 7 hours in a night. In fact, Elon Musk, the man himself, who works a minimum of 17 hours a day, admitted that his sleeping habits are incredibly unhealthy. And I don't know about you, but if Iron Man doesn't recommend depriving yourself of that precious snooze, then I'm not going to try it.
Engines are fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, good idea for an electric jet.
You do?
Yeah.
Then we'll make it work.
It's critical that we get the rest that we need to make the most of those waking hours. So if you find you don't quite sleep enough or you're always feeling tired, check out my video on the mechanics of sleep. Now, I'm not an expert, but the information that I learned while researching for that video helps me sleep much better than I ever did before. Number 3, time shouldn't just be spent, it should be invested. And I hear it coming. Alan, this is coming from somebody that enjoys gaming and making stupid YouTube videos. Please subscribe, by the way. And what I mean is this. There's a lot of things that we do that might seem productive or useful on the surface, but don't actually have a return on your investment. And there's also things on the flip side that aren't productive in appearance, but help some other area of your life. It's all about having a clear view of your goals and knowing what's important to you. For instance, some activities, they won't generate any revenue or get you business, but will enrich your relationships with friends and family. And some things will bring in the buku bucks, but might cause you to spend less time with those around you. Hopping on a game can be a great way to de-stress at the end of a day and spend time with faraway friends, but spending too long on them can certainly get in the way of more important things. It's really the kind of thing you need to be self-aware about. The 4th thing I've learned is that nothing goes as planned. As humans, we have a tendency to imagine the best case scenario in our heads. When we make plans, we often think that it will go smoothly. Nothing will go wrong, but rarely is that the case, right? And that's why it's important to do 2 things. Now, the first is assuming that tasks and events will take a bit longer than expected. For example, planning on finishing in 45 minutes, it's probably better to round it up to an hour. The fact is that setbacks and distractions have it out for you and your time. The second thing to do is include buffer time. Now, this is simply empty space between things that allow for flexibility when the unforeseen comes up or you need to change your plans. And this can be a real lifesaver. I always try to include some buffer time throughout my day, especially if I have a lot of time commitments or if I'm traveling. Now, the 5th and final lesson I'd like to share with you is that not all empty time is wasted. While in the search of ultimate productivity, anything other than work, it may seem like a distraction. But the fact is that downtime is important in anyone's life. It's how we relax and recharge. And it's hands down the best way to avoid burnout. So whether that's visiting with family or watching TV, time in prayer and stillness with the Lord, or simply relaxing and appreciating the world around you, be sure to include a little R&R in your day. And if the gaps bother you too, you can always include that in your calendar. In fact, sometimes it's best to add it in there just to ensure that you make time for it. Here's a bonus tip. If you often wonder how to tell if you're spending your time effectively, consider looking at the Core 4 method. Is what you're doing having a positive impact on your body, your relationships, your mind, or your job? If you work on all 4 of those daily, there's no way you won't see some change in your life. Well, Those are the 5 lessons that I've learned from keeping track of my time. I really hope you found some value in them. If you did, please take the time to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new videos on personal growth, self-development, and more. Did one lesson stand out to you in particular? How do you manage your time? Go ahead and answer those questions in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. My name's Alan, much love, and I'll see you in the next one.